I didn't know my marriage was on fire until I opened the envelope and found my wife's name printed on someone else's wedding. The paper felt expensive, smug even, thick ivory with a satin ribbon that matched the kind of beige rich people paint their fences. Inside, embossed script, a date 3 weeks from Saturday, and a venue stamped in gold foil, the Horizon. Bride, Vanessa Harper. Groom, not me. I stood at the kitchen island like a man trying to reboot his own brain. The house smelled like lemon cleaner and whatever candle Vanessa had burning lately. Cashmere nights. The scent of lies with good credit. My thumb worried the ribbon until it came loose. Vanessa breezed in from the hallway, ponytail high, black leggings, phone tucked under her chin. Yes, I can do uplighting in champagne. No, not rose gold. Rose gold screams middle management. She ended the call, set her planner down, and froze when she saw the invite in my hand. "What's that?" she asked too evenly. I read the script out loud, the way a doctor reads a diagnosis. You, at the Horizon. 3 weeks. She blinked once, twice, then a laugh, bright, brittle. "Oh my God, stop. That's a mock-up for a client. The printer must have used the template with my info." She reached for it. I held it just out of reach. "They accidentally scheduled your fake wedding and sent the fake invitation to our very real house." Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "It's a mistake, Ethan. Do you think I'm getting married and forgot to tell my husband?" Stranger things have trended. I slid the RSVP card free. Return address. A P.O. box. No groom's name. Just Vanessa Harper again. Looping and perfect. She opened the fridge like the conversation was a cabinet she could close. "Do you want sparkling water?" "I want the truth." "That is the truth." She popped a can, metal hiss sharp. "You don't trust me lately." "Why is that?" Because there was a name I didn't say out loud. Alyssa. Because my phone had a hidden folder I told myself was temporary. Like keeping dynamite in a junk drawer and calling it organization. My own voice sounded too calm. "Who's the groom?" She turned, leaned against the counter, studied me like a riddle she already solved. "If it's a mock-up, there is no groom." A beat. "Unless you know something I don't." The air between us went thin. I texted Jordan, my best friend, a divorce attorney with a talent for ugly truths. Me. "Found a wedding invite for Vanessa. She says it's a mock-up." Jordan. "Buddy, printers don't invent ceremonies." Me. "The venue's the Horizon." Jordan. "That's not a venue. That's a trap with valet." Vanessa watched me type. "Who is that?" Jordan. "Of course." Her mouth twitched. "He loves drama." "So do brides." Her jaw tightened, then smoothed. "Let me fix this." She flipped open her planner. Tabs, highlighter, tiny sticky flags like warning buoys. She scribbled a note, left-handed, fast, and the pen left a small ink tear in the page. Vanessa never tears paper. She treats stationery like royalty. That little rip felt louder than a scream. I said softly, "Why the Horizon?" "It's popular," she answered too quickly. "Great lighting. Looks good on video." "For fake weddings?" "For weddings?" She took a breath and set the pen down carefully, like she'd almost hurled it and thought better. "Ethan, I'm planning 3 events there this month. If the printer pulled the wrong profile, then there should be a wrong groom too." She held my gaze, unblinking. "Unless the groom's a blank." The room ticked with the wall clock. Somewhere in the neighborhood, a dog barked, as if to say, "You two hear yourselves? Now, quick pit stop." Because apparently, 94% of people who love messy stories forget to hit subscribe. That's like crashing a wedding, eating the cake, and leaving before the vows. Be better than cake thieves. Tap subscribe. Keeps the confessions flowing and the lights on. Back to the mess. That night Vanessa showered and came to bed early. Rare for her. She faced the wall. I can call the vendor in the morning, she murmured into the dark. We'll sort it out. I stared at the ceiling fan. We? We, she repeated, and there was something soft in it, like she wanted me to hear a promise I couldn't translate anymore. When her breathing settled, I slipped out to my office. I laid the invitation flat and ran my finger over the foil like a detective reading Braille. The RSVP date was tomorrow. Short runway. Purposefully short. I flipped the card. On the back, in minuscule type, the design studio's watermark. I checked the website on my laptop. Custom orders require confirmed guest lists to finalize print runs. No sample prints without names, no exceptions. My stomach dropped. If this was a mistake, it was an expensive, policy-breaking one. The hallway creaked. A shadow slid across my door. Ethan? Vanessa's voice, sleepy soft. Come back to bed. I slid the card into the drawer and shut my laptop. In a minute. She lingered. You know what bothers me? She asked through the barely open door. How fast you believed I'd do something like that. I swallowed. You handed me the proof. A pause. Then, quiet as a pin on carpet. No. I handed you a question. Her steps retreated down the hall. I opened the drawer again, stared at the horizon stamped in gold, and felt the floor inside me tilt. Because a question that pretty usually already knows the answer. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of Vanessa humming in the kitchen. A casual little tune, light and airy, the kind you'd expect from someone decorating cupcakes, not from a woman who'd just been caught starring in her own wedding invitation. She had the coffee brewing, hair twisted into one of those perfect messy buns that never looked accidental. She glanced up from her phone, smile sharp as cut glass. Morning. Want me to make you eggs? Eggs? Really? I slid the invitation onto the table between us, like a detective dropping evidence. This isn't a coupon flyer, Vanessa. You don't just file it under miscellaneous and fry me breakfast. She didn't even look at the card. I told you, it was a mock-up. Let it go. Then why does it still feel real? She stirred her coffee slowly, spoon clinking against ceramic. Maybe the problem isn't me. Maybe it's your guilty conscience. My chest tightened. Excuse me? Her eyes met mine, steady, unflinching. You're acting like a man who's afraid of being exposed. And just like that, the room shrank. She didn't know. She couldn't know. Alyssa was buried deep in hidden messages, late lunches, excuses disguised as work calls. But Vanessa's tone, measured, almost rehearsed, made my skin crawl. I tried to steady my voice. You're the one with the fake wedding. Don't turn this on me. She sipped her coffee. If it's fake, why are you sweating? Later that afternoon, I met Jordan for a drink. The bar was dark, smelled of fried onions and spilled beer, the kind of place where confessions blended into background noise. Jordan slid into the booth across from me, suit jacket off, sleeves rolled up. All right, Sherlock, tell me again. I pushed the invitation across the table. He read it, eyebrows rising. That's not a typo, man. Printers don't accidentally book venues. She says it's a client mix-up. He snorted, and I'm the tooth fairy. Ethan, you built your whole life like a balance sheet. Order, columns, numbers in rows. But marriage? Marriage isn't numbers. It's smoke and mirrors. And right now, Vanessa's cooking the books. I rubbed my temples. So you think she's messing with me? I think she's playing chess while you're still learning checkers. When I got home, Vanessa was on the phone again. She ended the call as I walked in and turned to me, smiling like she'd just heard a private joke. Funny thing about weddings, she said, they bring out the truth in people. What does that mean? She tilted her head, eyes soft but cutting. It means the people you think you know, sometimes they surprise you. Sometimes they disappoint you. She let the silence hang, then added, So, Which are you, Ethan? I stood there, mouth dry, no answer ready. Because in that moment, it felt less like she was lying to me, and more like she was waiting for me to confess. That night I lay in bed, listening to her breathe, my mind racing in circles. Every laugh we'd shared, every trip, every "I love you" suddenly under audit. I pulled out my phone, thumb hovering over Alyssa's name. I wanted to warn her, or maybe confess, or maybe just test if Vanessa was bluffing. But I didn't send a message. I couldn't. Because deep down, I already knew. Vanessa was playing a game, and I was the one about to lose. That night ends with Ethan hearing his wife murmur in her sleep, words soft but clear enough to freeze him. Everything's ready. He'll take the bait. My phone buzzed before dawn, the screen glowing against the nightstand like a siren. Alyssa. Her voice was breathless, trembling with excitement. So it's real then. You're finally leaving her? You picked me? I sat up too fast, heart pounding. What are you talking about? She laughed nervously. Don't play dumb, Ethan. I got the invitation. Same as you. Vanessa must have slipped, but God, I can't believe it. It means you're free, right? Free. The word clanged around my skull like a loose pipe. Vanessa hadn't just sent me the invite. She'd baited Alyssa too. Alyssa, listen. Don't show up. Don't go near it. She cut me off, voice sharp now. So what? You're backing out again? How long do you expect me to wait? I'm done being your secret. She hung up before I could answer. I sat there in the dark, phone still warm in my hand, sweat prickling my back. Vanessa's trap was working better than she could have planned, pulling strings until both of us were tangled. At breakfast, Vanessa was already dressed, flawless as ever. She set a plate of toast in front of me. Rough night? You invited Alyssa. Her eyes sparkled like I'd just admitted to a crime. Did I? Or did someone just forward her the wrong information? Cut the games, Vanessa. She leaned across the table, voice low. If you've got nothing to hide, why does this bother you so much? Her calm was scarier than rage. Rage, I could fight. Calm meant she was 10 moves ahead. That evening, I met Jordan again. He ordered whiskey neat and didn't wait for me to sit before asking, She's tightening the noose, isn't she? She got to Alyssa. Sent her an invite. Jordan whistled. Oof! That's not sloppy. That's strategy. She wants a show, Ethan, and you're the entertainment. What do I do? He leaned back, studying me. Truth? You stop lying, because Vanessa already knows. She's just waiting for you to hang yourself with the confession. I slammed my glass down harder than I meant to. She's my wife. She doesn't get to humiliate me like this. Jordan's mouth twitched. Maybe you should have thought about that before Alyssa. Later that night, I walked past Vanessa's office and heard her voice through the cracked door, whispering, Careful. Yes, everything's ready. He's taking the bait. The words chilled me. I pushed the door open. She looked up, startled for a split second, then smiled. Couldn't sleep? Who were you talking to? She closed her laptop slowly, deliberately. Just a vendor. Why? But her smirk told me everything. Whoever was on the other end of that call wasn't delivering flowers. Quick interlude, because apparently 93% of you still don't hit subscribe. That's like RSVPing to a wedding just to eat the shrimp cocktail and leave before the vows. Don't be that guest. Hit the button. It keeps the chaos flowing and the heartbreak hotter than fresh coffee. Back to the mess. When I finally crawled into bed, Vanessa rolled over, head on my shoulder like nothing was wrong. You trust me, don't you? She whispered. Her breath was warm, her tone soft, but under it, I heard the dare. I didn't answer, because the truth? I wasn't sure if I trusted her anymore, or if I trusted myself. And for the first time, I realized the scariest part. Maybe that was exactly what she wanted. By the next week, my house didn't feel like home anymore. It felt like a stage set. Vanessa placing props, me fumbling lines, and somewhere backstage, Alyssa waiting for her cue. I caught myself jumping at small sounds. The click of Vanessa's heels in the hall, her phone buzzing, the creak of the floorboards I used to ignore. Every noise whispered the same question. What else don't you know? I met Jordan again, this time at his office. The place reeked of stale coffee and paper, walls lined with divorce decrees, framed like war trophies. He shoved a file aside and looked at me. "You've got two options," he said flatly. "Come clean, or wait until Vanessa drags you into the spotlight herself." I sank into the chair. "You think she's bluffing?" Jordan leaned forward, elbows on his desk. "Buddy, she printed invitations. That's not a bluff. That's production value." That night, I tried to corner Vanessa in the living room. She was curled up on the couch, legs tucked under her, sipping wine and scrolling through her planner. I stood over her. "Who was on the phone the other night?" She looked up, blinking slowly. "You still on that?" "Don't play me, Vanessa." Her eyes hardened, lips curling into a faint smile. "Funny. That's exactly what I was going to say to you." I froze, heart pounding. "What do you mean?" She set her glass down, leaned forward. "You think I don't notice? The late nights? The working lunches? You're not as good at lying as you think." My throat went dry. "So this whole wedding stunt is what? Revenge?" She tilted her head, almost pitying. "Revenge? No, Ethan. It's revelation. You've been writing your own script behind my back. I just made sure the audience shows up for the finale." Later, I got a call from Alyssa. Her voice was shaking, but it wasn't anger. It was excitement. "Ethan, I don't care if it's messy. If she's going through with this, it means she's letting you go. Finally. I'll be there. I'll stand by you." I wanted to tell her no, to scream at her to stay away, but my mouth wouldn't move. The silence stretched until she whispered, "See you at the horizon," and hung up. When I got back inside, Vanessa was waiting by the stairs. Arms crossed, eyes gleaming. "She called, didn't she?" I stopped dead. "What?" Her smile was soft, terrifying. "Alyssa. She thinks she's winning. Sweet, really." "Vanessa, this isn't a game." She stepped closer, lowering her voice until I felt it more than heard it. "Everything's a game, Ethan. The question is, are you smart enough to play?" That night, I sat in my office with the invitation spread out on the desk. The gold letters shimmered in the lamplight. I thought about our wedding day years ago, how she cried during the vows, how I believed every word. Now, I couldn't tell if she ever meant them. And maybe worse, I couldn't tell if I did either. The night closed with Ethan whispering to himself, staring at the RSVP line he never filled out. Do I even have a choice anymore? Or am I already on her guest list for execution? By the time the so-called wedding loomed a week away, I'd stopped pretending this was anything but a trap. The house was too quiet. Vanessa moved through it like a ghost with perfect lipstick, silent, watchful, always 3 steps ahead. I snooped when I shouldn't have, and that's when I found it. Her planner was open on her desk, the one she guarded like state secrets. Between the pastel tabs and neat handwriting were names, seating charts, catering invoices. Real money exchanged. Real vendors booked. No phantom event. No typo. This wasn't a mock-up. It was a show. When I confronted her, she didn't even look up from clipping her nails. "You've been busy," I said, dropping the planner in front of her. She glanced at it, shrugged. "Occupational hazard?" "This isn't a hazard. It's a full wedding." Finally, she looked at me, eyes sharp as glass. "Tomorrow isn't about me, Ethan. It's about you." My stomach turned. "You're trying to humiliate me." She leaned back, lips curling into something between a smirk and a warning. Not trying. Succeeding. I stormed into Jordan's office the next morning, planner under my arm like a smoking gun. He skimmed a page and whistled low. She really went all in, huh? Guest list, vendors, catering. You're screwed. Tell me how to stop it. He tossed the planner back. You can't. You built this yourself. She's just shining a spotlight on it. I started, but my voice cracked. Jordan cut me off. Don't waste time defending yourself to me. Ask yourself why she's so sure she's got you. That night, lying in bed, I stared at the ceiling. Vanessa slipped under the covers beside me, her perfume filling the air. She whispered like a lullaby. Sleep well. Big day tomorrow. I didn't sleep. I sat in my office with the invitation in one hand and a suit in the other, like a man debating whether to attend his own funeral. Quick pause, because apparently 94% of you listening still don't hit subscribe. That's like hiring a magician, then leaving before he pulls the rabbit out of the hat. Don't miss the trick. Hit that button. It keeps the drama hotter than fresh coffee. Back to the mess. By dawn, the suit was pressed, the tie laid out. I caught my reflection in the mirror and almost didn't recognize him, the man who used to believe his marriage was unshakable. Tomorrow wasn't just Vanessa's wedding. It was my trial, and she was about to call every witness. The night ends with Ethan clutching the invitation, whispering, "If this is a game, then the only way out is through." The horizon looked like something ripped out of a glossy magazine. Marble floors polished enough to see your sins in. Chandeliers dripping light like liquid gold. I walked in wearing my suit, feeling less like a guest and more like a man heading to his own execution. The room buzzed with chatter. Neighbors, family friends, even a few of Vanessa's clients, all dressed like it was a real wedding. And at the center of it all, Vanessa, radiant in a gown that wasn't white, but a deep, devastating crimson. She caught my eye across the room, and the smirk she gave me said it all. Gotcha. Then I saw her, Alyssa. She slipped in quietly, hair curled, clutching her phone like proof of her invitation. Hope flashed across her face when our eyes met, the kind of hope that hurt worse than a blade. I tried to reach her, to warn her off, but before I could move, the music shifted. The officiant stepped forward, clearing his throat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for gathering today as we celebrate. The doors opened again. Vanessa glided down the aisle, not holding flowers, not holding anyone's arm, just carrying a microphone. The whispers started instantly. She stopped in front of the officiant, turned to face the crowd. Friends, family, clients, she said, her voice ringing through the hall. Thank you for being here. I know you came expecting a wedding, but today isn't about vows. It's about truth. My heart thudded. She looked straight at me. This man, my husband, has been living two lives, and since he wouldn't tell you himself, I thought I'd make sure everyone heard the story at once. Gasps rippled. Alyssa froze, lips parted. Vanessa gestured to her. Come on up, sweetheart. Don't be shy. Alyssa's heels clicked on the floor as she walked forward, trembling. Vanessa draped an arm around her like a proud hostess introducing the entertainment. This is Alyssa, she announced, the woman my husband promised a future to, while still married to me. The room went silent. No forks clinking, no whispers. Just the sound of Alyssa's shaky breath and the blood roaring in my ears. I tried to speak. Vanessa, stop. This isn't the place. Oh, it's exactly the place, she cut in, voice sharp as glass. Because the truth deserves witnesses. She turned back to the crowd, eyes gleaming. There is no marriage license, no groom. This whole production, just bait. And guess what? He took it. I stood there, stripped bare, everyone's eyes on me. Alyssa pulled away from Vanessa's arm, her face crumpling. You told me... You said... Her voice broke. She covered her mouth and bolted for the doors, sobbing. Vanessa lowered the mic slowly, her voice trembling, but steady enough to cut. I didn't want revenge. I wanted the truth. And now, everyone has it. The night closes with Ethan frozen at the front of the room, surrounded by gasps, stares, and silence, wondering if the woman he betrayed had just destroyed him or set him free. The horizon emptied faster than I thought possible. Guests murmured excuses as they shuffled out, avoiding eye contact like my guilt was contagious. The chandeliers still glowed, the flowers still perfumed the air, but the celebration had soured into something rotten. I stood there in the center of it all. No bride, no vows, just a man in a suit staring at the ruins of his own choices. Jordan found me first. He didn't bother with sympathy. He just clapped a hand on my shoulder and said, "Told you she was playing chess, and you, well, you just got checkmated in front of the whole damn neighborhood." "Jordan," I started, but he cut me off. "You don't need to explain. The fact that she pulled this off says everything. You were sloppy. She was brilliant. And now, you're paying the bill." Back at the house, Vanessa was already waiting for me. She'd shed the crimson gown for sweats, hair pulled back, makeup gone. Just her. She didn't yell, didn't cry. She just looked tired. "You embarrassed?" I laughed bitterly. "You set me up in front of everyone I know." "I gave you a stage," she corrected softly. "All I did was shine a light on what you were already doing in the dark." Her words sliced deeper than anger could. I dropped into a chair, head in my hands. Why, Vanessa? Why humiliate me like that? You could have just walked away. She sat across from me, folding her hands. "Because if I confronted you in private, you'd deny it. Gaslight me. Say I was paranoid. But when lies become the foundation of a marriage, the only way to tear it down is to make the collapse loud enough for everyone to hear." I looked at her then, not as my wife, not as the woman I'd promised forever to, but as someone who once believed in me enough to risk everything. And I'd burned it. Later, Alyssa sent one text. "We're done. No explanation. No goodbyes. Just done." And maybe that was the only mercy in this whole mess. The house was quiet that night. Vanessa stayed in the guest room. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling fan, listening to its slow creak. And I thought about everything she'd said. That sometimes lies have to be louder than the truth to finally be heard. Maybe she was right. Maybe that's what marriage had become for us. One long, echoing lie that only collapsed when she forced the world to watch. So here I am, telling you the story. Not to make excuses, not to play the victim, but to ask the question that keeps clawing at me. What do you do when betrayal becomes the only language left in a relationship? Because I don't have the answer. Maybe you do. And that's the end of it. Justice or cruelty? Trap or truth? You tell me. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you would have done in my shoes. And if this story hit you, don't forget to subscribe. More stories, more twists, more heartbreak you won't see coming. Right here